Executive Director. So, we are evolving today.
Yes, we are.
And there's so much going on. The crowd is great. Ken Shelton just had a wonderful keynote.
Yes, yes. All about equity, tech equity in particular, which is what we're focused on right now.
So, what do you think was like that first thing that showed up in the classrooms that you were like, oh my God, the future is here?
For me, and it's embarrassing to say now, but back then PowerPoint was all the rage. And I was a PowerPoint queen, therefore I was the techie teacher. Then eventually we started getting colored overlays for the overhead projector, okay? I was really popping at that point. But then eventually internet changed all of that. And the access to different resources became the focus. So we had all the focus on the hardware and what I call the fun stuff, the tangible items. Then it became exposure to the big, broad, global community. And we're still there. We're still at that point where we haven't even tapped a fraction of the resources that the kids have access to.
And that's something that people have been talking about, that now we don't need to go and do the grunt work for research to find information. We don't have to be the holders of information anymore because they can pull the information in the palm of their hands.
But as teachers, that's what we are going to continue to struggle with. That's why events like this are so important, because we need to calm some of our comrades down and say, it's okay for you not to be in the driver's seat every second of that lesson. It is okay for the kids to go out there, find stuff, and maybe stumble a little bit and figure it out for themselves. But if we continue to close those gates, putting up obstacles where the kids are not able to explore and see what is available to them, by the time they leave us, they're not going to be equipped to handle themselves in the real world.
You mean a trifold poster is not going to help me on my resume?
No, not right now. It might help you in biology first period, but it's not going to help you when you're applying to medical school as a biology major. So.
But I used glitter and lights and everything.
I know, it's going to be bedazzled and just fabulous.
We've got this awesome tools that have been coming out, and I think one of the things that we need a little push and help with is knowing that sometimes it's going to fail.
Yes, and not only is the equipment and the stuff going to fail, it's going to happen in life, but making the kids a little more resourceful with what's going to work. If it doesn't work, try something else. If that doesn't work, try a different approach. That's what we're doing to create our strong, productive citizens. If we clear everything out of the way and make it a perfect environment where absolutely nothing goes wrong, we're doing a disservice to them by the time they leave us.
And then on the flip side, we've got to be conscious of, well, I'm cahooting, I'm near potting, I'm brain popping, I'm clearly evolved, and I'm an awesome teacher.
Yeah.
But if I'm not focusing on
that's
strategy.
a biggie. That is where we really are, at least in Aldine. And I hope that that's what everyone that's attending this event today is going to start thinking about, that the brain pop is fantastic, the near pot is fantastic. We're all big fans. We sipped the Kool-Aid and kept making the punch even after that. But once you are aware of what tools are available to you in your toolbox, go back to the pedagogy. Look at the learning. Does this digital resource fit what I want my kids to be able to learn, what they're going to be able to produce? If that tool doesn't work, find another one. If none of the tools work, stick to the basics. And we got to keep remembering that we're teachers first. We're techie after that, but the learning is ultimately the goal. And just like that book might not be a right fit, that digital resource might not be a right fit. So make sure that you're looking at the learning goals first.
We got to make sure we're not forcing the square pegs in the round holes.
Exactly. And
then what Ken was saying was wonderful, thinking about, okay, but if they don't have the ownership of their learning, if it is not meaningful to them, and I think it's the coolest tool ever.
Right.
But it means nothing to my student.
And that is something, again, going back to the pedagogy, where as teachers, we've got years of studying, we've got years of experience and prep that we put into making sure that the lesson works for the kids, that you get to those learning outcomes. But there doesn't have to be one way that the kids show you that they got it. So again, going back to my PowerPoint era, I was one of those teachers. Don't put it on a poster, put it in a PowerPoint, and I would force that one tool. There might be a kid where they are not very digital. Maybe they can sing it. Maybe they can rap it with vocabulary. Maybe they could do a video. They're a film student and they want to express it in a documentary. That is very, very doable because you don't want to put everybody down one path just to prove that they got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're evolving today. What's on the horizon?
I still think that we don't have a level playing field for the kids. I'm speaking from Aldine terms. I'm speaking in terms of Texas, that our demographics are all over the place. We have a very diverse community, but not even just racially and gender-wise, but economically, we got a ton of haves and have-not disparities. And we gotta somehow put what the kids need in their hands.
Yeah.
So Susie may need one thing, Akilah needs something else, but we still got to produce some productive citizens when they leave us. So making all those connections, giving them what they need when they need it is where we are. And we got a long ways to go for that.
Long ways to go. But that's
and we need some support from the state.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's what we got today for. That's what we got all these wonderful presenters and vendors to help us through and help push us through. And we've got our community that is here and
that's
all
right.
gathered together.
That's right. We're really hoping. I don't know if you noticed. I know you guys have been busy, but we got a lot of administrators here.
Actually, I did. I've been handing out those yellow papers and explaining to them that, hey, come talk to these vendors.
Yeah.
Because they want to talk to you.
We want them to talk to the vendors, but we really just want some conversations happening. I don't think a lot of administrators understand that they're all in the same boat. We need to start talking about these things. I'm not impressed when you walk up to me and you're a tech-savvy administrator or a tech-savvy teacher. I am impressed when we start to come together and say, all right, how do we move forward? How do we get the kids to, wherever it is that they're able to produce something, and it's going to be different for everybody. It's not just about putting a computer in every kid's hand. It's not just about putting them all online. It's what do you do from there? It's the so what now?
And then having that support too, because I know sometimes you're worried that they're going to come into your room and they're going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
and that's okay, because if they're here, they're in the right place.
Awesome. So we have the super panel next, and we are excited to see what happens with the administrators there.
I'm going to go check it out.